Hello everyone, welcome back to the second part of first chapter of class 9 where we will study about the equation based problems or weight analysis. Now a feasible chemical reaction obeys the law of conservation of mass. The law of conservation of mass says that the total mass of the reactants is equal to the total mass of the product. Now we know about the molecular mass. We have already studied the calculation of molecular mass. Let us consider an equation. Magnesium burns in oxygen in a dazzling white light, to give MgO or magnesium oxide. Now first and foremost, we have to balance a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction which is feasible has to be balanced. So on balancing, we get 2 atoms of Mg reacting with 1 molecule of oxygen to give 2 molecules of magnesium oxide. Now the atomic masses of magnesium, oxygen and magnesium and oxygen will be given in the question. Now according to law of conservation of mass, 2 into 24 grams of magnesium will react with 2 into 16 grams of oxygen to give 2 into 24 plus 16 grams of magnesium oxide. Or in other words, how do we prove it? 48 grams plus 32 grams is equal to 2 into 40, or 80 grams is equal to 80 grams. So there is no loss in the mass of any reactant or product. Now suppose I add to this question, what mass of oxygen is required to completely burn 9.6 grams of magnesium? Suppose this is the question. So how you will proceed? 2 into 24 grams of magnesium requires 2 into 16 grams of oxygen. So 1 gram of magnesium will require 2 into 16 divided by 2 into 24 grams of oxygen. Therefore, in the question it is asked 9.6. So 9.6 grams of magnesium will therefore require 2 into 16 divided by 2 into 24 into 9.6. That comes to 6.4 grams of oxygen. This is how you are going to proceed with these weight analysis problems. Let us take another example. Suppose you have an equation where potassium nitrate on heating gives potassium nitrite plus oxygen, and you are asked to calculate the mass of potassium nitrate required to obtain, say, 6.4 grams of oxygen gas. Okay, potassium is 39, nitrogen is 14. Remember, these atomic masses will be given in the question. So how do we proceed? First we write the balanced equation. 2 into 39 plus 14 plus 48 grams of potassium nitrate on heating gives 2 into 39 plus 14 plus 32 grams of potassium nitrite plus, of course, 2 into 16 grams of oxygen. So from the above equation we get 32 grams of oxygen requires 2 into 101 grams of potassium nitrate. So 1 gram of oxygen will require 2 into 101 divided by 32 grams of oxygen. Therefore, question asked is 6.4 grams of oxygen. So 6.4 grams of oxygen will therefore require 2 into 101 by 32 into 6.4, that comes to 40.4 grams of oxygen. I hope it's clear, everyone. Now let us solve one more example and hopefully it will be clear. Example 3. Consider the equation where nitrogen reacts with 3 volumes of hydrogen to give 2 volumes of ammonia. And the question is, calculate the mass of hydrogen required to react with 56 grams of nitrogen. Also calculate the mass of ammonia formed at the same time. Okay, this is the question, and you will be given atomic masses of nitrogen is 14 and hydrogen is 1. So how to proceed? 2 into 14 grams of nitrogen reacts with 3 into 2, that is 6 grams of hydrogen to give 2 into 14 plus 3 grams of ammonia. So we get 28 grams of nitrogen requires 6 grams of hydrogen. 1 gram of nitrogen requires 6 divided by 28 grams of hydrogen. Therefore, 56 grams of nitrogen will require 6 by 28 into 56, that is 12 grams of hydrogen. This is the first bit. What is the second bit? Calculate the mass of ammonia formed at the same time. So 28 grams of nitrogen forms 2 into 17 grams of ammonia. This is from the equation. Okay, first you have to calculate based on the equation, and then by unitary method you have to proceed. 1 gram of nitrogen gives or forms 2 into 17 by 28 grams of ammonia. Hence 56 grams of nitrogen will give 2 into 17 by 28 into 56, that comes to 68 grams of ammonia. Now that is all in equation based problem. Now I've selected some sums. I'm holding the camera for a few seconds. Please take a screenshot of this and then you can solve it. Later you can take a screenshot and copy the questions and try to solve it in your chemistry copies. Okay. Now next, the last part of this chapter is empirical formula. Now what is an empirical formula? Empirical formula is the formula representing the simplest whole number ratio between the atoms in a molecule. It is a formula giving the proportions of the elements present in a compound but not the actual number of each atom. For example, suppose we have glucose. The molecular formula is C6H12O6. This is the molecular formula. Its empirical formula will be CH2O. How did we derive that? By taking the HCF of all the three ratios and then dividing it by the 3 elements. Suppose you have butane C4H10. Its empirical formula will be C2H5. That's the simplest ratio. Suppose you take ethane C2H6. The empirical formula will be CH3. Benzene C6H6. Empirical formula will be CH. Suppose oxalic acid C2H2O4. The corresponding empirical formula will be CHO2. Now we have some problems where you have to calculate the empirical formula. Now one thing, let me make it clear. Now molecular formula is equal to n times empirical formula, or you have to find out the ratio to which each atom is multiplied in order to get the molecular formula. Now after you have calculated the empirical formula, you may be asked to find out the molecular formula, and to find out the molecular formula we need to know n. Now n can be found out by dividing molecular mass, which will be given in the question directly or indirectly. Now molecular mass divided by empirical formula mass. Once you've calculated the empirical formula, you calculate the empirical formula mass. I will be explaining how, and then you can calculate n, and then from n you can calculate the molecular formula. Okay, let's get started. Suppose you have a question. Calculate the empirical formula. Now to calculate the empirical formula, you need to know the percentage composition. By now you know what is percentage composition. Now suppose you get a question. Suppose you are asked to calculate the empirical formula of a compound which shows the following analysis, which on analysis gave the following data. Sodium has 19.3%, sulfur 26.9%, and oxygen 53.8%. Sodium has atomic mass 23, sulfur 32, and oxygen 16. This much is given, and you are supposed to calculate the empirical formula. Okay, how to proceed? First, please be attentive. Sodium, write down the elements first: sodium, sulfur, and oxygen. Then you write down, next to it you write down the percentage composition: 26.9, oxygen 53.8. Just make sure that adding these three, or whatever the percentage, adds up to give 100, or if it is 99.99, then also it's correct. Then what you do, divide by the atomic number, atomic mass. Sulfur 32, oxygen 16. On dividing, you get 0.84, 0.84, and here you get 3.36. At this step, you find out which is the smallest of the three. Here the smallest of the three is 0.84. Now divide all by the smallest. In this case, 0.84. This is very important, and here you will get 1, 1, and 4. So the empirical formula of the compound given is NaSO4. No need to write 1. Hope it's clear. Next example. Calculate the empirical formula of a compound containing carbon 38.8%, hydrogen 16.2%, and nitrogen 45% by mass. Suppose this is the next question. So first step, what you do, write down the elements CNH. Next to it, write down the percentage composition as given in the question. Then you write down 45. Then you divide it by the atomic mass of each. Hydrogen 1, nitrogen 14. This will also be given in the question. So this comes to 3.2, This comes to 16.2. This is also 3.2. Now out of these, this is the smallest. So you divide it by 3.2, divided by 3.2, divided by 3.2. So you get 151. CH5N. Now one thing you have to all remember is that sometimes you may get this as 1.01 or 02. You can round it off to 1. But suppose you get one ratio as 1.5, one as 1 and the other one as 2. In this case, I told you empirical formula is the ratio which shows the simplest whole number between the elements. So in this case, what you do, in order to convert this to the next whole number, you multiply all 3 by 2 and then you write down the formula. Okay, let's take the next example. It will be clear. Number 3. Calculate the empirical formula of the following compound. Carbon 47.37, hydrogen 10.59, oxygen 42.04%. These are all percentage. Now you write down the elements first. CHO. Against the elements, write down the percentage as given in the question. Then 42.04 and then divided by the atomic mass. Divided by 16. Here you get 3.9. Here you get 10.59. Here you get 2.62. Now out of these three, this is the smallest one. So divide all three by 2.62, 2.62 and 2.62. Now here you will see this comes to 1.5, this comes to 4 and this comes to 1. So here you cannot round this off to 2. So what you have to do in order to get the simplest whole number ratio, multiply all 3 with 2. So the simplest ratio comes to 382. So the empirical formula is C3H8O2. This is the empirical formula. Okay. Now, if the molecular formula is given, suppose I add to this, calculate the molecular formula of this compound, if its molecular weight is 152. Now you know molecular formula can be found out by multiplying N to empirical formula. Now N is molecular mass or molecular weight divided by empirical formula weight. Now molecular mass is 152. It is given in the question. Empirical formula you get from this: 3 into 12 plus 8 into 1 plus 2 into 16. So this comes to 76. So N comes to 2. Don't worry, this will always be a whole number. So molecular formula will be 2 to empirical formula. So that is C6H16O4. I hope it's clear. Now I have selected few questions for your practice. Just take a screenshot if you want and then do them in your answer sheet, chemistry copy. That's all in chapter 1, class 9. Thank you.